Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another great episode of Shujaa right here on WTV Kenya. I'm your host, Linda Kruger. Now today we are in Kiambaa and most specifically Muguga Primary School, where we will be highlighting the contributions by one Janet Einleeboom Rigii, who has been giving back to this community. This is her first primary school and she came back to give back to where she came from. Join me on this journey as we celebrate our unsung heroes going above and beyond to do the best they can for their communities and the people around them. Janet Einleeboom Rigii is a kind soul at first instance. She's also very confident and sure about herself, and everything associated with her is a reflection of this. From her simple elegance and warm nature, it is easy to see why she has a heart for children and why she has dedicated her life to giving as many as she can a better life.
The school was started in 1957 by our forefathers. When they realized that they need to educate their boys and girls. The school has a population of about 800, whereby we have the ECD, we have the special unit, and we have the other classes, together with the adult education. It is a public integrated school. It has been doing well all through. However, the government has been doing a lot. It has been providing books, has been providing teachers, and some furnitures. However, it is not possible for government to cover everything. And that's the reason why one of the former students by the Rigii Foundation decided to come back and at least assist in moving some of the classes that were leaking. We are also calling the old boys to come back to their school and assist the government to put what was not there.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here in Kiambaa, and if you're just joining us, we have been highlighting the wonderful work that Janet has been doing for her community, and we're gonna get to learn a little bit more about her as a person, where her inspiration comes from, and exactly what led her to start her organization and the deeds of kindness that she has been doing here in the country. Janet, karibu sana.
Asante sana.
Now, we've seen a bit of what you've done specifically for this project here, and we'd like to get a feeling of who you are as a person. I think we can start off with that.
Yes. Actually, Linda, my name is Janet Jerry Kinothia. When I was in Kenya, I was being called Jerry wa Kinothia. Kana Jerry wa Rigii, because Rigii is my grandfather. Then I got married to Dutch man that is in the Netherlands. Yeah. Then I changed my name to be Janet Jerry Einleeboom Kinothia.
Einleeboom.
Yes.
I think I've got it.
So my father became behind and my husband became in the middle. So I'm Janet Einleeboom Kinothia.
Wonderful.
Yes.
That is amazing.
Yes.
And maybe you can share a bit about your childhood growing up.
I was born in this area that is called Kiambaa. That's where I was born in 1962.
Wow.
Then I had grown here until 1974 when I left from this Kiambaa. My father divorced with my mom, and we went to a place called Gatuanyaga in Thika. I stayed there for 1 year. When I went there, my mother had I was the oldest. I'm the oldest in the family. So by the time we went to Gatuanyaga, my mother had no money. She did not bring me to school. Actually, what she did, she brought all my brothers to school. And me, I became a mother of other 4 children. So I started being like I'm taking care of my brothers and my sisters. Then I stayed there. When we were at my father, I used to study. So I said, this is not life, because here I'm only cooking for my sibling and I'm not going to school. I have to change my life. So I had to run away from my shosho's place. So when I ran away from my shosho, I came back to my father. I said to my father, I cannot stay at my mother's place because she did not take me to school. Then my father brought me to my grandparents. That is the parents of my father now. So there, it is where I grew until when I got my husband.
Right.
So actually, they took me as their last born child. I had a very good life at my parents' place because my grandfather's place, because my grandfather had retrobate to give me actually, and I was like the first child and the first grandchild.
Can imagine. I mean, grandparents love their grandkids.
Yes, and I was the first one, actually the firstborn.
Wow.
So Linda, I stayed with my grandparents. My grandmother died in 1991. By that time when my grandmother died, so I was left with my grandfather. So you can imagine the way they loved me. Then I shifted, I went to Nairobi because I used to work as a business woman, and my grandfather gave me the capital of going for business.
Wow.
Actually, after I finished my school, I went to Kampala, and my grandfather gave me about 40,000 to start a business. So in the meantime, when I was doing the business, that's how I came. My grandfather was telling me, I don't know when I die, I'll leave you with who. By the time I got my husband, my grandfather was very happy.
Oh,
so I said, I have a boyfriend, and now I think I'm going to Europe to visit my boyfriend. Is he going to marry you? I said, I don't know, but let me just go. Then I'll see what it will happen. So I met my husband in 1993.
Wonderful.
And then I went to Netherlands in 1995. So that's where I've been since. Yeah, when I came back home and I told my grandfather now, actually I could not tell my grandfather that in Netherlands they have like relation of staying together.
Yeah.
That's
before marriage.
And because of my disappointment of my childhood, actually I did not ever want to get married.
You were cautious.
Yes, because I had a lot of problem growing up. My father beating my mother, and my mother running away. As an older, the oldest child get a lot of problem.
Yeah.
So I had faced all those problems as when I was growing up. So I hated men. So when I met my husband, I said I can never get married. He said, don't worry. In Netherlands, we have the relationship contract. So we live with my husband for 1 year. And actually my husband had the same thing because the parents, they were also divorced. For him, he was on the other side. He didn't get a lot of problem like I had, but also he didn't never want to marry and to divorce. So we were people
coming in from the same past.
Yes.
Exactly.
So we stayed together for 1 year, and then we said, oh, we can be good for each other. Then we decided to get married. So when we sat down, we said we cannot bring everybody in Netherlands for the wedding. So we said we'll marry in Netherlands. And then after 1 year, then we'll come for a big party, because we have been always longing to marry in the church. So then after 1 year, 1999, we came back to Kenya and we did a wedding in St. Andrew's Church.
And got married. That's amazing. And at this point, going back to your family background, I mean, you had the wonderful opportunity, let's say, and blessing to have your grandpa there to look after you. What about the role, and for him supporting the role of education for a young girl as yourself at that time? What about your brothers? What contribution or role did they play thereafter?
My brothers and my sister, the only one that I have, because we are two at my mother, they were educated after I left. When I ran away from my mother, my mother took his children. So he went and educated his children. My mother is a very hard-working woman, so she educated her children up to Form 4. All of them, they were educated, minus me, because now I ran away and I came to my grandparents.
Yeah.
But by my grandparents, I was also educated.
Wonderful.
Yes.
What you'd shared and intimated that at one point after your marriage and all that, there came a time where you had to take care of children that were yours but not really yours. Maybe you can share that aspect with us.
Yes, my brother, my follower brother, died in 2001 in June. And when he died, in that time, I was also in the process of looking for the children because I could not get children normally. So by the time I was doing that IVF thing, then my brother died. So I started educating the children of my brother. It was a very difficult time because I was under medication, and at the same time I have the children of my brother because actually I was the person who had something to educate these children. So we said, me and my sister, we said the children stay at my sister's place, and me, I will be providing with the school fees. So that's what we did. Then after that, then I can never get children anymore. So the doctors, they were finished, actually, they were finished with me, kind of. Yeah, it was a very hard moment for me by that time.
Yeah.
So by the time I stayed educating the children of my brother, my husband was telling me, like a white man, let's adapt.
Yeah.
I said I cannot adapt because I was still like that Kenyan mentality. I only want to get
family.
Only family.
Yeah.
So then I started educating family, and I did not adapt. I took one of the child of my brother, and I brought her. She was about 4 years when she came to the Netherlands. So I educated her until she was about 7 years. Then she had to come back to Kenya because of some family problems. So when she came back to Kenya, I went down again. So when I went down again, that's when the Lord talked with me. Actually, she came in 2007. So I was down 2008. But 2009, I had to shake myself off. I told my husband, I'm going to Kenya, back to my roots, and I want to know who is Janet. So I came to Kenya 2009, and that's when I registered a foundation, which is called the Rigii Children Foundation. The Rigii Children Foundation is based with my life, actually, because the Rigii Children Foundation is, the name Rigii is my grandfather who brought me up. So I said the foundation of the Rigii Children Foundation. So then that's how I started the foundation. By the time I registered, I did not know where the money will come from.
You just had a will and the spirit.
I had that vision, and I said, I'm not going to stay there. Even if I have to save life of two, it will be better.
Yes.
I will educate them with my money. So I took everything and I registered, and I went back to Netherlands. I started the foundation with 30 euros.
Wow. 30 euros?
Yes. And that euros I gave to a Mzungu who was coming to Kenya. I said, this money, when you reach to Kenya, they will be come and picked up by somebody. That somebody was the taxi driver who was carrying me before. So then Kamau came and picked up the money. I told Kamau, I want you to go to Kariakor. You buy me those Maasai slippers. So he bought me the Maasai slippers.
Yeah.
When he bought me the Maasai slippers, he gave to the same guy because the same Mzungu was coming back, the husband of my friend. So that was about, let's say, 3,000 Kenya shilling.
Yes.
for that euro. So he brought for me those slippers. I started selling them through my friends, telling even the white people there in my village that I'm selling slippers. I started educating children and I want to pay the school fees. So the slippers, they were finished.
Wow.
When the slippers was finished, I sent the money now direct to Kamau. I said, Kamau, the slippers are finished. Can you please buy me more things now? So Kamau had to post for me things through the post office for 18,000.
Wow.
From 3,000 Kenya shilling. So I sent to him 200 euros. He buy me things and he can still post. Then I came with those things. I started selling them, saying I'm educating children. It picked very nicely. Then after that, I had to go to the market. A lady told me, Janet, instead of you selling one by one, in the summertime, there is that tourist market. You can order one, we can share the cost of the table. In Netherlands, we have the summer market. They have the shades. You can see them on my website. And then we can share the cost of that table. So we went with her. That lady, her daughter is married here by a Kenyan man. She's a white lady, but her daughter is married here by to a Kenyan. And they also have a foundation. So she was really touched by what I'm doing. The next year, I ordered the same market now for me alone. Then I had a lot of stock. I started selling and people started buying. I started dressing Maasai style, Kikuyu style, selling my bags. And then I started telling people, I don't want to come to the door to me to tell you, help this child. I want you, when you buy for me the bag, you know you have donated for a Kenyan child. So a Kenyan child will go to school, I'll buy the uniform. So that's how, Linda, I started my project, and it went very well. After that, then I thought about another thing. I said, if these people can start giving me the old clothes, everything, what it doesn't make use in Europe.
Yeah.
Everything you see, people, they are throwing, they are taking nice clothes. I wish, oh God, I wish I had that container, then I can bring this and I give to the whole needy people in Kenya. So I went to the newspaper in my village and I shared my vision, my idea. And the guy told me, don't worry, I will take you to the newspaper and we will start looking for clothes. But first of all, we have to look for a store. Because you know how we live in Europe, we live in a very small places, so you need to have a store. So we looked for clothes. The clothes started coming. Everybody wants to bring.
People responded positively.
Yes, very nicely. Then the newspaper man said, now we have to look for a place where you can store the clothes. Then we looked for a store and I was given the store by one of the lady. My neighbor, he worked with IT work. It's a computer installation. He installed the computers. I said to him, I would like to be bringing the computer to Kenya, but how, I don't know. So he said, don't worry. So everywhere he goes to install the computer, like in libraries, bank, offices, he says, my neighbor have a project where we can support children for Kenya. They say, carry them, take them to.
So they donate these computers.
They donate the goods. After they donate the goods, I started thinking, what can I do? They are full. How do I bring them to Kenya now that I have the things?
Now you have all these things.
I have everything now, but I don't know how they will reach to Kenya. There's one of my friend, she's also a Kenyan. She used to be a frontier to a certain, we call them kringlop. It's a place you can walk in, you buy the old clothes. It's not like a Kikomba, but it's where people brings old clothes.
Okay.
And that project, they used to support Kenya project in Githurai 44.
Okay.
So when I told that white man that I have a project and I have things and I don't know how to bring to Kenya, and again he told me, don't worry, I'll help you. I always ship container to Kenya every year for my project.
Amazing.
That's how I started. Then I brought all things to him. He brought things to Kenya. So then when the first shipping came, I came. Oh, it was very nice. Me taking those clothes to that IDP, me taking those clothes to those people in Longonot, I felt so nice donating.
Imagine.
So then I came with a full swing again. The next container I shipped the computers. Then I went to donate the computers to the school there by Flyover. That is, it's also a government school. When I started donating things to them, I started donating things to them like clothes. And I started taking children. My children, actually, they were studying there. My children for my project. So I call them my children because I feel like
you're the mother.
Yes, I feel like they are my children. That school is where my children were studying. So I started supporting that school from standard 1 with computers, and by the time I left now to that school, up to class 8, everybody know how to operate the computers.
Amazing, amazing. All these projects that you're supporting and talking about. This one here in Kiambaa, the school, it's special to you because this is where you studied. Maybe you can tell us how it feels to be able to come back and give this amazing contribution.
This one was very special because I've been postponing to come to Kiambaa almost 2 years. Every time I say I want to go to the school where I used to study because it made me who I am today.
Yeah.
So by the time we started, I started this school, we went to nursery school just behind here. And then to come to standard 1, we used to be somewhere there. It's the time we used to do like this, to be taken to go to standard 1.
Yeah.
So this is where I started for my standard 1. I left here when I was in standard 6.
Wow.
Because after when I came back, I did not come back to this school. But this is the school which tuned me to be Janet of today.
Wonderful.
Because I started here from the standard 1.
Yeah.
So when I came this year, I came and I asked the headmaster what are the problems of the school. So he gave me too much problems, and I told him write me a proposal. As a project which is registered organization, we also need the proposal to see what we can help and what we cannot help.
Yeah.
He took me around the school. The school is doing very well. They also have the student with disability. They have the student with this Down syndrome. So they are doing very well. But Linda, this school, since it was built, I heard from the headmaster, 1970, it have never been renovated.
Wow. 1970.
Yes, nobody have come back here. The school is very beautiful. If you go to the classes, they also have no desk. They are sitting the children 4-4. So the teacher gave me a lot of problem of this school. Then I had to pick the urgent one.
Yeah.
The urgent one was the roof that you see there. Because the headmaster told me, I have the classes, the roof, it's rotten. When the rain comes, I have to put children in one corner where the rain is not coming. So I picked the important and the urgent matter.
So you renovated the roof?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then we renovated the roof, and when we renovated the roof, first we gave the mabati to the children because we are doing this for the children.
Yeah.
And after that, then we just gave the mothers. We called the mother on 6th of this month. We gave the mother the school, and to show them that they don't have to rely with the government. Every time they don't have to say Serikali's idea, because they can do also something. It's their children, they are in this school. The Serikali is also doing something for the children. But then we as Kenyan, I believe we don't have to wait what our country have to do for us, we have to do something for our country.
Exactly, we have to push ourselves to be better people for a better Kenya.
Yes.
And now, as we wind up the interview, maybe you can leave us with your part in short, especially being a person who started off your foundation by the sheer will of wanting to help and improve your community.
Yeah, I really want to do a lot for my community, because you see, like now, my project is very young, since 2009, and you hear I started this project with my own money.
Yeah.
I support this project with that Maasai things that I buy from Maasai market. Then I just bring back, I go sell, and then I bring back money to the children.
Yeah.
Now I have that children. My children, the first one finished university.
Amazing.
Those are the ones I started with in 2001 when my brother died.
Wow.
That one is the daughter of my brother. Another one have finished Form 4. And now the really children of my project, like now I had 3 candidates. They went to Savannah Secondary School in Naivasha. And my children, I bring them myself to school. I pay the school fees for them, and I let the teacher sign that child will not be sent home, because when you send that child home, the grandmother have no money. Yes. So my vision is to help Kenyan children, and most is to start giving children hope. And that's why I started with small children, because my children, we start with them slowly. The helping work have challenge, because like last year I had a lot of challenge. I have a girl who was studying in Naivasha Mixed Academy, and she was in Form 4, and they are really poor. But she left school because she had no support from the aunties, even if the aunties are poor, and she left the school in Form 2, and she got married at the age of 16 by a guy for boda, because a guy have piki, and that child, she was in Form 2, and she left 22,000 in school because she did not even finish a term. So those are the challenges that you get, but the challenges, they can never make you not to move on.
That's true.
Yes.
You have to keep on going for the others who are out there.
We are all familiar with the quote, "It takes a village to raise a child." However, it should continue to say that once the child is grown, they should go back to the village and help raise the village.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Shujaa. Today we have been highlighting the wonderful work that Janet Rigii has been doing back here in her primary school, Mogoga Primary School. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been your host, Linda Kruger. This is Shujaa, where we celebrate our unsung heroes, people going above and beyond all that they are to improve and uplift their community and people around them. Keep it WTV Kenya.